right, welcome to a bright sunny day on the flight line of the KSC. Today we're going to be going through, this is going to be the first of a very long series of videos showcasing all the different IVAs for different command pods and different mods and different things like that. So to get you started, first thing you're going to need is a couple things, a couple of mods. Free IVA lets you go IVA into any command pod. But if you want functionality, you're going to need other mods. Raster Prop Monitor, More Avionics, Asset Avionics, B9. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that make the IVAs possible. First, we're going to look at, here's a mod, for example. To switch on the fly, you need a mod called Reviva, which gives you this little interface that allows you, it gives little definitions or explanations for what each IVA is. So since we're on stock, we'll just go ahead and hit C, and we'll get rid of all the other stuff that we don't need. There we go. So this is stock IVA. Basic functionality from the main screen overlay. You've got your nav ball, you've got surface orbital, you've got your throttle, you've got altitude and speed, and that is about it as far as functionality goes. All the rest of these don't do anything, and that's clicking through. These do light up though, but that's about it for stock IVA. Next we have we'll go with KSA. It's unclassified in this context menu, but it is what I would consider medium tech analog. Get rid of that. So, much more functionality, much more interface with the game systems as far as what's going on behind the scenes. You've got panel lights, flight deck lights. Pretty much everything you see here is interactable. You've got your game load and save data. This is for landing navigation. You've got your different screens to show there's your nav ball, science stuff. Let's see, orbital information, but I prefer the orbital circle. A different kind of screen. Shows maps and all sorts of stuff once you have ScanSat enabled, and you can cycle through different modes and different resources to toggle, zoom in, different things like that. Most of your important stuff is covered by safety covers, and then if I had an engine, I could turn that on. I could lock the staging so I don't accidentally fire it. Abort mission, recover vessel, a lot of functionality. You know, when you want to SAS on in here is somewhere. Oh, that's the outside lights. Antenna, radiator. Somewhere there should be a toggle for solar. Yeah, keep track of your battery. Yeah, just all sorts of stuff. Yeah, that is that one. Was KSA. Okay, moving on. Next we have low-tech analog from More Avionics. It is low-tech analog, and it is a very simplified, but still gives you everything you need to know. You can turn on instrument lights. If it's dark, that'd stand out a lot more. Everything is actionable. It all shows up. Different things that are going to happen. I'm not too familiar with the analog systems, but I do plan on learning those. Yeah, pretty simplified. That is about it. It gives you the traditional real world nav ball, whatever they want. I'm not sure the true name of it. So moving on. Next we have the Starilex low-tech analog, which pretty much has the same thing as the More. It's just a little more fleshed out, a little more detail. You got more information and stuff like that. Lights are... Where are the lights? That's another thing. When you get used to, or when you first step into these, backlight on. There we go. And one thing to remember, if you're looking at this and you're saying I could never learn that, well, if you play a KSP, you already know how to do all this. You just have to relearn what buttons do what switches do what, how to know where you are in the system without looking at your craft in space and realizing, oh, I'm that far away from the planet. Well, you can find all that information out from these. You just have to know how to do it. These analog systems, I am not that familiar with. I just don't. I haven't put enough time into it. I'm more the digital guy. Modern, near future analog. I like the buttons and switches, but I like all the multi-function displays as well. So yeah, that is Starilex. Very nice, low-tech analog. Moving on. Next we have, so low-tech analog. Do we have any medium-tech analog? Medium digital, near digital, low analog. So it looks like RPM, raster prop monitor, medium tech digital. And the next few are pretty similar. They just, each one has different functionality. You know, this one you've got your throttle. Do we have, yeah, it's just this main panel here, which looks like we don't have an internal light. No, maybe not. But you got your action groups. I believe all these are non-functional. You got your functional displays, but not quite as much information as what would be available with the other ones. Not quite. Almost as much. Yeah. Next we have... So that was RPM, medium tech digital. We have high tech digital and near future digital. And this is the DE. I'm not exactly sure what that stands for, but I like these. This reminds me of the asset ones. This is the one I'm most familiar with. It has a lot of functionality, a lot of information, but it comes to you pretty quick once you start playing with it. These are external lights, SAS stability control, RCS, precision control, surface orbital target, quick save, quick load, life support, chatter. I've got all this muted right now, so it's not making a lot of weird noise. Solar stuff, fuel cell stuff, power source. You can toggle different modes to see where your power is coming from and how much reserves you have. Your displays, orbital displays, warning systems for altitude, slope, tumble, high G. Your board, staging information for fuels, all of your panel light ups, warp, shoot stuff, stage stuff, all right here, landing gear stuff, all your actions. And everything's labeled out. So if you're like, what do I need to, okay, I need to figure this out. Well, go to the parachute section, go to the gear control section, temperature section. And this is all fully responsive. You know, you're out in space, this will read different. You're coming in through the atmosphere, that'll rise up to 6,000 as you start heating up the craft. But yeah, that is that. And these multifunction displays, the only difference between the DE and the DEMAS is you get the more avionics MFD instead of these. And I'll show you that right now. So we have DEMAS, which is near future digital. And pretty much the same, exact same as the last one, only this time you get the MAS camera, or MFD, which gives a little bit different information. I'm not too familiar with these. I've played with a little bit, but you know, you got VTOL mode, you've got flight, orbit, launch, a whole lot of different info options that are not available in this multifunction display. And that is about it for the Mk1 command pod. I believe that was all of the different IVAs. Let's see here, stock, DEMAS, mass, looks like, yeah, we did all those. So yeah, next we'll probably move on, do all the command pods before I move on to cockpits. Probably release each one as a separate video. And then I'm going to be working on some training videos, teaching people how to do more of this stuff. Maybe some install videos, what you need to get you started so you can actually enjoy KSP and IVA. And it is quite different. At first you're really lost in terms of where you think you might be or where you are. But you learn to read all that data pretty quickly and figure out, oh, I'm this high above the surface. I'm this thick in the atmosphere. I'm coming in at this angle. I'm going this fast. All the information's there instead of here or on the nav ball. It's all just, it's in different locations. And you'll learn that. Well, thanks for watching. If you like this, subscribe, like, do the stuff that YouTube wants us to do. And yeah, have a good one.